In the next 60 seconds, you'll have the names of two excellent brand new metal albums to stream, but if you stay for a few minutes longer, I'll save you the trouble of deciding what you want to do with them. Terry here again with Cast Metal and another full metal review segment. If you like the stuff that is listed here to the side of me on the left, FMR is for you because I review and break down the newest extreme releases of the week from my charts and get them to you here every day. Stay to the end because I'll give you a third extreme metal album from my own secret collection too, just to say thanks. Recap. During episode 39, I reviewed a Knife in the Dark and Heaven Dies EP split. This is two bands that actually shared one EP, two tracks from each band on there. Very unique. And next we have Spiritual Deception's new album, Semite Mentis. Both of them went into my library so fast you couldn't even see them go. Check out the last episode for the full breakdown. In any case, stream them for yourself to see if they are for you. So, first, Persephone's EP Lingua Ignota Part 1. And secondly, the last 10 Second of Life's album, No Name Graves, are up for fresh reviews. So let's start the FMR. So before I listen to the Lingua Ignota album by Persefone, I open the page and see that there are 5 strong-sounding tracks totaling 26 minutes. Album cover artwork, as you can see, is elegant black and white with standard fonts. It's absolutely beautiful. However, I cannot make out what the actual images in the center. I really don't know what it is. It is too blurred. However, it attracted me to the album and I knew that I had to review this one. My first impression is between the album artwork and the song titles, it has me visualizing at this point something pretty heavy, probably something fairly refined. Although categorized as metal in Apple Music, I know, and we know that they don't offer all the categories that we use, I would predict the genre to be somewhere in the area of prog metal, metalcore, or nu metal, just by looking at it. Maybe something hardcore. But I'll have revealed what I thought their actual genre is after I listen to the album at the end of the show, then compare it to their actual bio and see if I was on point. I hope you got all that. So let's begin. Track 1 opens dramatically with an array of sound bites, a deep preview of the powerful vocals and explosive instruments to come for sure. Track 2, it's a heavy, crisp, loud with excellent rhythmic yet rangy sound, powerful vocal work, and nice chorus line all the way through. Track number 3 starts strong with a powerful range of sounds. It's heavy, deep, and big all the way through. Track 4, it's a gamut of soft to heavy sound, solos, rhythms, and big percussions and vocals. Finally, track 5, it starts softly, meaningful, and dramatic, and it remains a ballad, completing this entire album. So it goes out like a lamb. The recording and sound quality was clear, but it pushes, I think, the recording technology to the end with some crackling, while the music and production musicality was very refined. Energy and intensity was nice and high. Rhythm and tempo was rangy, varied, yet very rich. Lyrical theme here is understanding and communication. That's how I kind of broke it down. Becoming a mainstream act here is a possibility. So I don't even know at this point if they might be on the radio, but it's really nice, crisp stuff. And it's very hard to say where this band is going. They're excellent, but it could be on the radio. The range and flow and layout of the album is consistent. The tracks are arranged with absolute care. They remind me somewhat of Opeth, somewhere in that range, okay? Now, I'm going to go here to ChatGPT. I better open this kind of quick now. Now, ChatGPT defines Persephone's sound as somewhere Oh, look at this. Opeth, Enslaved, Between the Buried and Me, In Mourning, Tesseract, Gojira, and Alcest. All right, fair enough. So I was kind of in there with them. I describe the vocals as strong fry vocals and good clean vocals all the way through. Guitars I can only describe as excellent sound, biting rhythm, excellent solo string work. Bass section was thick and deep. It lived more than up to my expectations. Finally, the drums and percussion performance was top to bottom precise with excellent snap. And there were small sounds of adequate samples, sound effects, and sound bites within to help complete and fill in the album and make it sound a lot bigger than it was. Lastly, I rated the temperature of this album as warm. I gave it a seismic reading of 6.2 only because it ended very soft. And I think that I would enjoy this one while doing house chores, inside or out. Probably mowing the lawn would be really nice while I'm listening to this on headphones. General feeling I had during this session was chills because it was really, really nice music. It led me to give this album a darker tonality shade, and an overall color would be described to me as gray, pretty much like the album cover itself, okay? I found it to be a very gray feeling colored album. In summary, my predictions from earlier were somewhat accurate. Now, what did I say earlier? I predicted prog metal, metalcore, or nu metal, or something hardcore. And right now, at the end of it, I would still give it progressive metal or nu metal. The official bio says progressive death metal. I'm kind of in there. My favorite tracks, rather, were 1 to 4. Okay, and the fifth one, well, I kind of left it out. And yes, I decided that I am going to put this one into my library. I think it's really good. It'll make a great Sunday track for sure. Next up, we have No Name Graves. Okay, did I get that right? Yes, No Name Graves is the name of the album by The Last 10 Seconds of Life. That's tricky. I opened the page to see that there are 10 super strong sounding tracks. It totals 35 minutes. The album cover artwork, if I could get to it here. There we are. Sorry about that. So here's the album cover artwork. It's multicolored. It's a battle scene. Looks like a battle between heaven and hell. It's got custom and standard fonts. My first impression this time has me visualizing something really heavy, to be frank with you. Although categorized as death and black metal in Apple Music, knowing that they're not big on all of the stuff that we use for terminology, I predict the genre to be somewhere in the death metal or deathcore range beforehand. But I'll have revealed what I thought their actual genre is after I listen to the album at the end of the show, then compare their actual bio and see if I was on point. Track 1 opens with crushing, deep, slow rhythms, fiery, guttural fry vocals, and immediately my fists are balled up. The power is insane. It is nice all the way through, okay? Track 2, it rips open with strong, razor-sharp everything all the way through. Now, just very quickly as I'm rolling along, I'm going to mention that this album was a very slow tempo, and it was very, very powerful and intense all the way through. Continuing on, track 3 continues at the same slower, undulating tempo, and it cuts right through the soul. It has massive bass. Next, track 4, it's another immense grinding power number. It's bursting with thunder. It's got awesome rhythm and harmony throughout. Track 5, it opens with intense guitar, bass guitar, punishing drums, and vocalizations. Track 6 almost feels surreal with enormous low-end grind, crisp, clean, strong. Track 7, it might be a ballad, but I'm thinking that it's a ballad that a crocodile would probably love. Track 8, it was intense, deep, and brutal. Track 9, to keep it simple, it was crushing, dark, and very black. Finally, track 10 explodes hard. It's an absolute drum and percussion nuclear war. It's the burst of speed and power that came out. It was completely unexpected because all the other tracks are approximately the same slow, rich, deep, strong tempo, and this one here is just a speed demon all the way through. In summary, brief summary, this band is a bulldozer. They're slow, but they dig deep and they will tear you right down. So, overall description, recording and sound quality was professional, but again, really stretching the tech hard. Some slight crackling in there. Production and musicality, it was raw. The energy and intensity was ultra high, while rhythm and tempo was tight, immense. The lyrical theme here is the all hope is gone type feel. Becoming a mainstream act here is absolutely not a possibility. So fear not, guardians of iron, they belong to us forever. The range flow and layout of the album is pleasingly consistent, and the tracks are arranged meticulously, in my opinion. They just keep progressing, getting better and better. They remind me of Crown Magnetar in that range, or imagine the band Spite, but slower, with a more deep grind and probably bigger teeth, to be quite frank with you. They are really crunchy. They are pure power, and let's go to Chat GPT right now. Chat GPT compares this band with Fit for an Autopsy, Traitors, Knocked Loose, Body Snatcher, Thy Art is Murder, Dealer, Enterprise Earth, Lorna Shore, Spite, and Signs of the Swarm. I'm going to say that they're closer to Signs of the Swarm and Crown Magnetar and Spite, to be very frank with you. I describe the vocals as absolute reptilian. This guy is a beast for sure. The guitars I can only describe as full, clean, and immense with massive rhythms. The bass section was crushing. Finally, the drums and percussion performance was full, tight, big from top to bottom. There's no samples that I could make out. I think I was just too busy not looking for sound samples or anything like that. It sounded like it was just them, just their instruments. So moving forward, the general feeling I had during this review was it was a white knuckles and goosebumps ride. It led me to give this album a charcoal dark tonality shade in the overall color, or colors would be ultra red. Okay, fiery, bright red. That's the way I felt. Lastly, I rated the temperature as sub-zero cold and a monster seismic reading of 9.1 on the Richter scale. And I am going to absolutely enjoy this album when there's nobody around and I got my headphones on. In summary, my predictions from earlier were solid. The old guy here, he does win again. I did predict deathcore. And finally, I reveal that my personal official genre description is, it is deathcore supreme with all the toppings, including sour cream, chives, and steel filings on top, okay? The official bio, when I looked online, it is deathcore. My favorite tracks literally were from 4 all the way through to the 10th one, all in succession, all 6 of them. And that's it. So that's it for another episode of FMR, and I'm going to dig into my treasure chest. I think I'm going to dig out an album from a couple of years ago, and it's from a band called Filth, and the album is called The Ignorance, and I'm going to send that out just to you guys, just to say thanks for hanging out with me today. Remember, that's Filth, and the album is called The Ignorance. And that, my friends, is it for another episode of FMR. Remember, please, to support your favorite metal artists. Stream them, engage them on social, buy the merch, see them live, and join me again soon for another episode of FMR. And finally, hit that subscribe button because metal music matters, and I'm here to help. Set up your notifications so you can get your new album recommendations here first. Cheers, everybody. Have a good night. See you next time.